Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the Zero Excuses Podcast, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Kenyon Zitska, and you are listening to my four-part series to help you get 2018 started off right so you can absolutely crush it and truly make 2018 better and different than 2017. So today is part 3, and I'm going to go over weekly and daily planning. Now, this may seem like a very trivial and simple task to partake in, but I guarantee you that 80% of you that are listening to this right now are going to think that it's so simple that you don't need to do it. And I'm not saying that to put anyone down. I say that because I was also one of those people that took daily and weekly planning for granted. It didn't really implement any sort of systems into my life, and I didn't implement the discipline that I actually learned in the military and carry that over into my personal life. And I've really realized the power of weekly and daily planning. And as I'll go over in the next part of this series, the after action review, or what I like to call the hot wash up, just a term that I've carried over from my Navy career, and it's something that resonates with me. But anyways, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. Let's get back to weekly and daily planning. Like I mentioned, so many people live their lives randomly and succumb to whatever events happen to fall into their lap each and every day. And you end up living your life according to someone else's plan instead of according to your plan. So that's yet another reason why you need to implement these strategies that I'm about to go over here in this episode. I really can appreciate the fact that a lot of what happens in our day-to-day life is out of our control, but I think that is not a good excuse to use to not plan out your days. And even if you're the most busy person, I guarantee you'll be able to carve out time in your day if you just simply take a step back and plan out your day and find those little nooks and crannies where you can maybe get in a little 5-minute walk, or if you're looking to increase the amount of books that you read, take 5 minutes to read. Whatever it may be, you can find those holes in your day where you can plug in those daily imperatives that you want to accomplish on a daily basis. So the other benefit that I found from partaking in a daily and weekly planning process is that it helps keep me on task day in and day out. It also reduces my anxiety levels tremendously because I know that I've accounted for the most important tasks that I need to get done during the day, and I don't need to worry about what I need to do next because I've accounted for everything I need to do, and all I need to do is simply execute on the plan that I've come up with. But if changes do happen to pop up during the day, it's a lot easier for me to adjust my schedule because I've also built into my schedule the necessary margin to account for those unpredictable moments or those things that happen to pop up during the day. And if it does end up being something major, this process inherently will catch those things that might end up falling off your radar otherwise. And if you need to move something from today into tomorrow, that's easy to do with the process that I'm going to go over here. But the other thing to keep in mind here is you do need the self-discipline necessary so that you don't keep kicking the can down the road and keep deferring the same task over and over and over and just procrastinating on that same task. So that's going to be up to you. That's going to be up to you to build that willpower to say, no, I'm not going to put this task off anymore, and it needs to get done today come hell or high water. But anyways, enough of me rambling. Let's go over this process. It's real simple, like I said, and I implore you to take this on board, if nothing else, and simply start planning out your weeks and planning out your days. The other thing that I want to mention before I dig into this is I have a weekly and a daily planning worksheet available in the show notes. Just click on the link and enter your email address, and you'll be able to download both an Excel and a PDF version of this, so you can take what I go over here and customize it to however you see fit. Anyways, So the first step, obviously, is to lay out your week. Now, the worksheet, you'll find it's not intended to be a super detailed plan for your week. All it is a visual representation for you to lay out each day the major tasks that you need to get done, so that you can visually see how your week is going to look, and so that you can see if there's one day that might be busier than another. It allows you to see if you need to make adjustments, move something from one day to the next, etc. When you download the worksheet, you'll also see that I have each day broken down into 3 segments: morning, afternoon, and evening. So where I get the information from to fill out this worksheet are basically 3 areas. First is going to be the quarterly worksheet that I went over in part 2. Encourage you to go back and listen to that episode as well. And then also, my wife and I keep a dry erase monthly calendar up on our kitchen wall, and we write down our major appointments so that we deconflict each of our schedules, and we make sure that we're on the same page as far as what we're looking to do, both as a family and individually. And then the third place, I like to use Google Calendar to capture the appointments that I make on the go, and that's all I use Google Calendar for, is I'm on the go and I don't have a pen and paper to write things down very easily. I simply make a Google Calendar event to capture anything else that pops up during the day that I need to keep track of. So those are the 3 places that I extract information for when I fill out this the weekly worksheet. So then step 2 is then to break each day down into a detailed plan. And I like to do this the night before. Part 4, I'm going to go over evening routines, morning routines, and some other miscellaneous tools that I like to use on a regular recurring basis. But anyways, what you'll find in the daily planning worksheet that I have available with this episode is that there's 3 basic parts to this. I have my daily imperatives, then I have a brainstorming section, then I have the actual schedule. So my daily imperatives, I also get those from my quarterly goal setting worksheet that I went over in part 2. I extract those tasks and list those out on the daily imperative section, and then I brainstorm everything else. And then the way I prioritize it is by using the Eisenhower decision matrix. Essentially, it's a 4-section matrix where you decide whether each task is either important or urgent, or not important, not urgent, or not important but urgent, or both not important and not urgent. So priority 1 tasks are going to be important and urgent. Priority 2, important but not urgent. Priority 3, not important but urgent. And number 4 is going to be not important, not urgent. And what I would encourage you to do, if it's not a hell yes for being important or urgent, then just mark it as no. But if it's a hell yeah, those are going to be the most important tasks that you're going to want to schedule first. And then start filling out your schedule from priority 1 down to priority 4. And then if your schedule fills up before you get through all of your priority 2s or priority 3s, then don't cross them out. As you find opportunities throughout the day, maybe something takes a little less time than you accounted for. Maybe you pick one of those tasks off from that brainstorming list and knock it off. So that's why it's important to use that ranking, and I found it very useful, and I've been extremely productive by employing this technique. And the other thing I want to mention about my daily planning technique is that I use something called the Pomodoro Technique, and all that is that I break my hour down into 50 minutes of work and then 10 minutes, then a 10-minute break. And during that 10-minute break, I'll either what I like to do when I'm in my normal work environment is throw on my rucksack and grab a book, go for a 10-minute walk in a safe area away from traffic, and then I take a walk and knock out 10 minutes worth of reading. I like to try and combine a very conscious task with a subconscious task. The conscious task is reading. The subconscious task is taking a walk with my rucksack. So I get a lot done by employing that technique, and I encourage you guys to also employ that technique. So, anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Appreciate you tuning in. As always, just want to mention the couple resources that I have available to you before I sign off. First is our free closed Facebook group over at facebook.com/groups/0excuses. The second resource is our exclusive Infinite Results Mastermind group, where we dive into these very techniques and many of the other tools and resources that we talk about here on the podcast. We also have the accountability and the structure necessary to help you achieve your lofty goals and really make 2018 the best year possible. And if you are really looking to work with someone very closely on a one-on-one basis, I also offer a very, very exclusive one-on-one discipline coaching program. You can check either the Mastermind or the coaching program out at kenyanziska.com/results for the Mastermind and kenyanziska.com/discipline for my one-on-one coaching program. And lastly, if you're finding tremendous value out of this podcast, I encourage you to share it and also leave us a rating and review on iTunes or wherever you choose to listen to podcasts on. All right, guys, I will talk with you again on Friday. Thanks again for tuning in.